Welcome, everyone, to another webinar from Advisicon. My name's Tim Runcie, and today we're going to be digging into taking Microsoft Planner Premium further, specifically targeting what we call building enterprise functionality with Power Apps. And as you're going to learn a little bit about Planner and certainly its role, is that a lot of organizations are pretty excited about using this, but they start growing and growing their capabilities. So if you haven't seen our webinars before, we do a ton of business transformation, productivity, automation, but we really look at specifically as helping you do more with less, basically kind of blending your process and technology together. Been doing it for 30 years, plenty of webinars out there, so we'll even hear about a few more that will be coming out. For those that haven't met me, I'm Tim Runcie. I'm the CEO and founder of this company and have been doing this a long time. So this is one of my pure joys, is sneaking out and sharing information with our community of practice. So if you have questions, I encourage you to reach out, send us emails, send me emails. I really want to make sure that we can get you the right information as you go forward and begin to really boost your productivity. So let's take a look at kind of our agenda today. We're going to talk about an understanding of both Planner, Planner Premium. There's a lot of things that are happening with the Planner space in terms of even the merging of three of the databases. Like we talk about Planner Basic, Project for the Web, and Planner Premium, which is all undergoing a transformation. And then, of course, this whole environment of the Power App world itself. And what is Microsoft's intent? So where are they going? What are they thinking? We'll talk about how that works. I definitely want to make sure you see this in Teams. This is one of the great features of, in fact, if you want to take advantage of some of the functionality for some of the Planner pieces, you will need to be in the Power App in Teams. Once we kind of lay that roadmap and strategy, not only with what Planner is and how the pieces work, we'll definitely talk about that native versus paid solution options. You're going to see a lot of pointers that Microsoft will point you around to, but I'm going to try and distill that down to something very basic. And of course, I want to get in and show you the tool. This is we talk about the enterprise capabilities that you do have, and then we'll summarize and close out. So first off, let's jump right into what we call Planner key pieces. And that's really kind of understanding kind of the pieces that go together around that. So first off, remember Planner Basic, M365 Planner comes with your enterprise license of Microsoft. The intent with this was to give people a very agile tool, but not have all the complexities of a scheduling technology. And so Planner in its basic form has no Gantt chart, has no predecessors, no timelines, certainly can assign people to it, but it doesn't have effort. And organizations began their grow up story. And this is really important, is the grow up story into saying, well, you know, maybe we just needed something very loose and agile for task work management, but we may want to grow that into more enterprise level or more project or program level work. We need something that goes beyond that, and maybe not all the way to the Microsoft Project Desktop tool and to the Project Online or Project Server environment, which, by the way, is a 30-year product. So the Microsoft Project Desktop tool and the Project Online, the enterprise version of that, have been around. It is the second oldest tool that Microsoft has, behind Microsoft Word, believe it or not. You think it might have been Excel, but nope, it's Word, then Project. So Microsoft has definitely hit that pinnacle of an investment, and it began to say, let's look at our market, let's look at our industry space and how to streamline and give people maybe something that isn't quite as powerful or robust. And so you don't have all that weight, you can actually jump in much agilely. Hence the basic Planner, and then of course the move to Project for the Web, which is being basically consolidated 100% into Planner Premium. So whether you have low productivity or we have a small project management standard lifecycle, waterfall, maybe Prince 2, whatever methodology you're layering, or you might be moving into system software development life cycles, very agile-esque, where you have scrums and planning. The idea is that when you begin to do larger and larger or more complex projects, you're going to need more things out of your system. And remember, Planner is a database, so is Planner Premium, and also Project Online, et cetera. These are databases. So when we think about the direction of needing maybe the enterprise level, when I begin to think about, hey, I'm not just managing my projects, I'm managing many other programs or lots of other projects that are, I'd like to kind of merge those together. Microsoft's strategy was to help people kind of move together. And of course, remember the tool belt, if I describe it, in the Microsoft 365 world is Teams, right? You can put lots of things in Teams. You can do phone calls, you can certainly post, you can have SharePoint, you have channels, you've got lots of organizational structure, and teams come together to collaborate using Loop or other elements in that Teams environment. Well, Planner certainly fits that way, and Planner Premium specifically is designed certainly to work there. But appropriately, as you get more using this app, and of course intentionally positioning Teams to be a collection, you still get back to the root product, which is Planner or Planner Premium, and says, I need to have not just one column, I need to have a column that's across all my projects so I can sort, filter, or group. Or maybe I want to integrate that with an ERP or an accounting system. How do we make that happen? So while you might be using Teams or the Teams site that comes with a Planner Premium schedule, or maybe you're using a team channel, the idea is at some point you begin to centralize your information around enterprise projects. And Planner is designed not to have those pieces in. We'll talk about enterprise functionality that may come in the future, but really how do we take and bring that together? So what Microsoft's put together is something called an accelerator. In fact, by the way, there are many people who've had their fingerprints all over this product. It is free. It's out on GitHub. I'll show you the links in a moment. But the idea is that if you need to actually begin to work with an enterprise level functionality, Planner Premium has a limitation of what it can do. It has 10 custom fields, and those 10 custom fields are only for the project that you're in. So if you have 40 or 50 projects going on at the same time and you want to say, hey, let's organize these by department or division or by portfolio, or I want to add generic resources to my Planner Premium schedule, there's no place to do that because it's designed to pull in active named resources that are in your Entra or your Active Directory environment. It's in that environment that you work from, and then we can show reports around that, but not as a global resource pool. Those are the things you find in Project Desktop, and you find those in Project Online. So how do we get those with Planner without having to maybe step completely across the threshold, get the biggest bang for the buck with an Agile-esque tool, easy to understand, people are adopting it like crazy, but now we have that grow-up story to move that further. So the idea of the accelerator as a power app is it wraps around your planner schedule. So think of Microsoft's strategy as to not just build an enterprise ERP system, but is to say, look, I'm going to create little modules that you can have a better together story, bringing those pieces together. Meaning, if you want scheduling, great. If you want, enterprise customize anything, you'll wrap it in this Power Platform or in a Power App. So this Project Accelerator is a model-driven Power App. That means that there's some programming and code already written into it. It has a bunch of tables already set up, and it will provide you an enterprise environment to wrap around your project schedules or your Planner Premium schedules that allows you to turn on programs. You can have an intake process. You get to create generic resources and assign them and work with them. So it begins to give you that. And again, this Project Accelerator is made available free by Microsoft. Remember, free doesn't mean that you are starting out with the biggest, best bang for the buck. It is a primer. It's designed to get you going so that you can learn how to leverage both the Power Platform world, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Apps. We even talk about Power Pages. Things like that will come into play. But the idea of making your data natively available in the Dataverse, and of course, tapping into Copilot or Microsoft AI. So if you want historical decision, financials, all that kind of stuff, boom, there's that Power App. That's what you're going to need that for. And what's great about that is there are report packs that not just only come for Planner Premium, meaning that if you weren't doing enterprise anything and you wanted to point all of your Power BI reports or dashboards to just your general environment, you can do that. But there are specific Power BI report packs that Microsoft also makes available that are pointed right to this, basically this Project Accelerator. We're going to be calling it Planner Accelerator. And at some point, Microsoft might even just call it the Power, the Planner Power App. But really, that's what it is this accelerator has a set of report packs that you can also work with. I'm going to show those to you today, so I won't kill you with PowerPoint details. But the idea is that there are 3 report packs out there. You can look at those. You can obviously change. You can incorporate bringing more data in from different data sources. But more appropriately is you've got this rich environment with Project Desktop and Project Online. That license, that Plan 3 license that you would use with Project Desktop can also be used with Planner Premium. And if you really like that idea of having an enterprise environment, then you're going to leverage that Power App, the accelerator, if you will, and of course the report packs together as a group. And now you can begin to build and grow and scale enterprise functionality. So again, that whole idea of Dataverse, accessibility, and report customization, very important. But this is net new for a lot of people. A lot of organizations are kind of thinking through this. They're not quite sure. So again, as I usually say, is if you have questions, send us a note. We'll point you in the right direction. We teach classes and consult on this all the time. But really, I think the grow up story is a great one to tell. So as we dig in here, I wanted to bring this up here. So again, if you need to rewind this video later, if you're on our learning management portal getting your PDUs, these are the links here under Planner Premium. This is actually where you can go to GitHub and download it. We keep a copy, and at some point we've kind of cleaned up some of the Power BI reports. So we actually, when we do an implementation, we just share those with people, again, gratis, so free. But again, the whole idea is that if you want the Power BI report pack or you want to get the Project Accelerator, the Planner Accelerator, you can download those right from GitHub. Microsoft makes it available at no charge and puts you in place there. So you basically can pull those down and leverage them. So I've talked some of Microsoft's direction. I want to dig a little bit more here, but not spend a ton of time because you actually have a roadmap tool that Microsoft makes available. So if I launch a browser and I just type in Microsoft, if I can spell Microsoft today, Microsoft roadmap, there it is. You'll see it pop up right here. And what this will let you do is you can launch into the roadmap anytime and take a look at what's coming, what's being published, what's put out there. And it's not just for Planner or the Power App space. It's really any of the products that you look through. So if I hit the drop down arrow, some people go, well, where's Microsoft Project? Well, there it is. I'll just kind of zoom this here for you. There's Project, but guess what? We also have one, if we scroll a little bit lower, here for Planner. So if you're looking at some of the roadmap pieces and you want to see what's coming out, always helpful to see what's being published, both on the project space or the Planner space. And again, if you scroll down here, it gives you an idea of, hey, Planner's new Microsoft app for Microsoft Teams in GCC High and Department of Defense space. Yay! So for those using advanced earned value and wants to see Planner as part of their work management or task management system, these things are being made available. Status reports, they've got Planner apps also in customers, and so we talk about all of what's being launched and what's coming. Some of these are also in preview, right? They've actually, I'll be able to demonstrate some of these that are in preview, that if your Microsoft 365 administrator has not put you in the, what I call the bleeding edge category, which means that as soon as Microsoft turns it out there, it appears, you might be on a monthly or a yearly cadence for updates. So that's really how fast these features will basically appear or disappear. But the roadmap, very quick, very easy to take a peek at, and helpful to understand what's coming up out there. And again, this is also an important part here, is that the investment that Microsoft is making is they're not investing in new features in Project Desktop, even though I have a whole list of wants that I've wanted, for many, many years. And as Advisicon, we work with the engineering teams about what's coming and what they want to do. The investment is shifting from basically project into this Power App Planner Premium space, and of course the AI space that comes with it natively. So the reason for that is that Microsoft feels they've accomplished their goals. It's not like the product is bad and they're moving away from it. Project Desktop, Project Online absolutely delivers tremendous value for many, many organizations, and we support that as well. But what's important to understand is that if that's what you need, that's a great fit to move to. It's certainly there and it's going to be there. There's no shelf life on this. But if you are liking that Planner Premium story and how that works, how do you continue that momentum from, hey, we're doing loose projects to now we want to do a collection as a group or have that enterprise functionality? And so you'll see announcements coming out where Microsoft mentions that Project for the Web is going away. And so suddenly people panic and they go, oh my gosh, Project Online, PWA. Well, different animals, right? Project Online, Project Desktop, not going away. Plan 3 licenses will still be there. But more appropriately is the database structure around this project for the web, which is now Planner Premium, is the old legacy tables and some of those views are moving away. I'm going to show you a couple of these. I have a whole nother webinar I'll put out there because this has a lot of people confused and they're sending lots of questions. And I think it'd be helpful just so people understand that. But in general, is Microsoft is streamlining the backend structure, the support structure for that. So the investment will continue to move forward with that Planner Premium experience, certainly in Teams, and then the AI components that come with it. So lots of great stuff there, but again, just making sure that you understand that Microsoft simply has had these legacy database environments, and they're going to kind of consolidate them so that they're not trying to support 3 or more in terms of that structure. They really want to make sure that it is clean and efficient, and you can use Planner well. But if you want to move beyond just Planner Basic or Planner Premium, and you want that functionality, you will use that Power App in that accelerator or the Power App story. Another option is there are many partners out there. We work with all of them. So again, it's kind of funny is some of these companies, their parents and I work together, and now we have children running their company. And so there's, when I say children, like these are all adults, but it is a collegial environment. There's a lot of good solutions out there. Some have pros and cons, things you can work through. And I'm not here to promote anybody today. I want to talk about if you don't necessarily need to go and buy something that is amazing, but already built. If you want to grow your story, maybe you're not quite ready for that, then this Project Accelerator or this Power App is a great way to move forward to at least get your feet wet to learn or begin to instantly turn on some of that enterprise functionality. All right, I've covered lots of good topics here, so let's get down and actually see this. So let me pop over here and let me bring up the old legacy environment. This is a Project Online environment. And the reason I'm showing this is so you understand a little bit more about the fact that where these databases are kind of going to be disappearing, where it's going to be in the Planner Premium space, is that if you clicked in, say, the good old Microsoft Project Online, and if you went there, you might have a landing page where we talk about, hey, when I actually bring up Planner or Project, you can choose your favorites, you could kind of create roadmaps, and maybe you have a list of projects that you work with that are Planner or Project Desktop, etc. And again, at the bottom here, you see where it says go to Project Online. Well, inherently, this kind of portal is basically kind of disappearing because most people are going to Microsoft Teams to launch your apps. So instead of trying to launch it here, you're going to say, well, I want to end up in a space that says I can begin to see my plans, or what are my tasks that are going on currently, or we talk about my day. And I'm showing you kind of an old web structure. This is the kind of the structure that's been around for quite a while. And you'll see this called My Portfolios. Well, where Microsoft has moved this to, or at least essentially made it available, is the Microsoft Teams environment. And so if I actually bring up Planner here. Whoops, let me grab it and I'll just share it for you real quick. So let me launch right into my environment here. And if I bring over Planner and let me kind of open this up so you can see that structure, there it is. My day, my tasks, if I want to look at what I've been assigned to or emails that are flagged, etc., all good. But again, remember that whole idea is that that structure is really available, and of course, by plans. So if we begin to start creating correct collections or portfolios, this portfolio tool does a great job of bringing them together, but it doesn't provide enterprise fields or custom issues or risks, or it doesn't have the pieces that would say, here's what I'm looking at. It says, when I come in and I create a portfolio of plans, is I can group these together. I can see them and I can certainly show status, but more appropriately is when you really want to get to the enterprise database structure, that's where the Project Accelerator comes in. So kind of showcasing this as we jump in and kind of walk through some of that environment. So let's talk a little bit about the reporting of the Power App itself. So let me kind of launch in here. In fact, maybe what I'll do is I'll just jump right to the home page so you can kind of see what it is. When you deploy the Project Accelerator, this is what it looks like. And of course, this is a Power App. And the idea of working with your plans or your schedules is that whether you want to start off with an intake process, right? Think about that, an intake process that leads you through the fact that maybe not all your projects are going to open up and immediately be projectized, I may want to start with requests where I can vet them. I can actually understand what is the request that I have. And do you have all the information? Do you have a sponsor? Do you have budget? You might have to think through these. Maybe it's a pre-sales cycle, and what you're working through is looking at things that are proposals that are coming in here. So if I want to come in and take a look at, maybe it's a customer satisfaction tool that our consulting division wants to look at, I might open this up, and I have in a Power App all these fields of information that I can go and fill out. You could tie these things to basically any other type of CRM tool, whether it's Dynamics 365 Sales, or you're going to get into Salesforce or other tools. But the idea is that you have these metadata fields that allow you to collect and capture information about a project even before it's a project. Don't have to use this. Some people just turn it off and they go, nope, we're going to start planning our projects. And what we'll do is we'll put the sales phases and stages as we go through there. So as you launch in and you say, okay, let's actually take a look at what are our projects, we can create a collection of projects, and not just your active projects, but I bring in ones that are open or closed. We now are looking across all of the initiatives that are collected. You can actually launch these into its own environment. So all your report packs and all your BI doesn't look at all the other plans that are in your organization, but only specifically what you're needing from here. And so as I jump in here, whether I'm working with report preparation, is I can drill in here. And notice I got way more than 10 custom fields. And every project, depending on template or type, role-based access, meaning that if you have a department that says, I only want to see 10 custom fields or 20, or I'm the IT team and I have very simple schedules and I don't need a lot of the strategic planning pieces, you can control what people see based upon who they are. This truly gives you that enterprise functionality of security, role-based use, managing multiple divisions, different initiatives, different templates, all in this environment. And again, this is a primer. So I'm showing you kind of the out-of-the-box pieces of maybe you have a summary of information about your project. Who's my sponsor? Is it active? What stage is it in? Maybe you've got a business case that you want to kind of basically tell that story of why this is important. And so as you go through review or approval, or perhaps it's a status report that goes out, you can make all these available. So maybe I've got financials that are connected or not connected to an environment that you're working from, but I can look at my actuals to date, I can look at my budgets, et cetera. All of this is around your plan. And what I'm going to show you here is that if you look here, you've got certainly all these tabs. We get into maybe the team, their contact information. You talk about issues, risk, changes, and status. There's elements that are enabled. There's actually more that are showing up by default, but this environment is preloaded and ready to go. But all of this wraps around your planner schedule, right? This is really important, is that when I click on tasks, this is where the planner schedule will kick in. So as you begin to build your schedules, as you start to put things together, if you want to create your timelines, again, this is very simple. I'll probably pick a better project next time. So if I want to go back and grab another project, or if I want to go back and see other things here, again, you can kind of go back through. I can close it and open up new plans. I can copy plans. This begins to give you the environment to create that in basically selections or choices or metadata fields that are helpful. So again, looking at this as a Power App gives you that functionality, but this is not in Planner, right? It is using Planner as the scheduling engine. And then we might come in very clearly and say, we're going to drill in and look at more information around this. And again, if I go to that task, or if I want to keep track of my issues or risks, or some people merge the risks and issues into a RAID log, which allows you to say, hey, an issue might have been a risk before. Now I promote it to an issue and we need to create tasks and work around it. I have actions and decisions, so that RAID log might sit there. So this is the idea, is that you have the whole board view, you have your timeline view. You can certainly get into your Gantt chart, et cetera, and you can kind of zoom in and zoom out. You have all that functionality. And notice I'm nested inside of my environment right here. I'm literally looking at running it from inside of this Power App. Well, if I go to Teams and I say, hey, that's still the same thing I want to keep going here. So maybe I go to my plans and I look for the same thing. What's the last project perhaps I was working in? Here's that apparel ERP one that I just hopped out of. And I want to take a look here. I can certainly see the timeline and I can see the board view and the work that's going on here, and I can work with it necessarily. Or if I even want to run the Power App inside of Microsoft Teams, you have that. It just gives you more layers of things that you could hop out and work from. But the Power App, the Project Accelerator, or the Planner Accelerator allows you to begin to wrap enterprise functionality and customize it. So an example of that, let me just click on one that we did a little tinkering with, is that you can come through here and build your own Power BI dashboards. You can nest those here. Maybe you want to relabel the titles to, maybe you register your projects. And now I want to look at programs where I have collections of initiatives that go together. So when I will pull my Power BI reports, I can group them by what strategic initiative or what OKR I'm aligned to. So the value of having this Power App gives you that functionality without having to force Microsoft to embed all of that into a Planner Premium schedule. And that's really important because we don't have the overhead. If you don't need it, you're just working in Planner Premium. And if you go to the enterprise environment, still using the same skill sets and knowledge, we would just wrap these in together. And again, as I look at these projects, you can get into adding lots of details here. So as I think about what we're working on, or perhaps elements that are important for us for working too, let me just launch one of these open, and I can show you is that you can add way more details. Like you can have phases and stages, you can have graphics and visuals. You can even get into looking at, what is the work breakdown? Here's that RAID log I talked about. Maybe have a change or status decisions or lessons learned, or maybe we've got a history of time where we've audited this and we said, hey, we've audited the schedules. I actually have a higher level reporting. Maybe I'm on a Department of Defense initiative and I need that enterprise functionality. This is where we begin to see some of this information. So again, way more details. And again, this is where you begin building your Power App to make that happen. So as we think through some of the options, there are many dashboards. So if you just have Planner Premium, you've got a report pack here that you can work from, and it has a timeline. It's got milestones. It's got details you can work from. And again, this is just looking at all your plans, your Planner Premium plans that happen to be in either your default org or whatever your environment. But truly, if you start moving through and saying, look, we're going to begin to use more, let's download that report pack for the Power App that comes with it, or basically the Project Accelerator or Planner Accelerator. You're going to pull that in and you can just point this at that environment. Now I can go through and look at my pipeline. Oh, what's my budget by stage, right? You don't get this nested or embedded inside of your Planner Premium schedule. That comes with the metadata that as in the Dataverse with this Power App. And again, whether I'm looking at a portfolio health or I'm looking at overall risks or issues, et cetera, you can get into some great visuals. And again, this is a free that you can download from Microsoft. So while they didn't hook all the pieces up for you, they've kind of made them available. Microsoft's really good at saying, look at all these cool things that we can do. They're so easy to work with. It's like a box of Legos. Let me take them, dump them all out on the table and go, there you go. And they don't necessarily tell you how to weave those together. That's a place that we spend quite a bit of time helping people figuring which are the right pieces to connect, teams, SharePoint channels. And again, if you have that grow up story, this is a perfect fit for that Planner Premium piece. So again, you can lead to information, but the idea is that you've got resource, assignments, you've got generics, you can keep track of that. All of this, we certainly can embed directly right in our reporting inside of our Power App. So remember, the idea of in the Power universe or the Power platform is you can embed reports, your Power BI reports, right in your Power App. And as you learn a little bit more, you can actually embed a Power App inside of a Power BI report. So you can actually say, when you see this report, there might be actions that you want to take. You can actually nest those pieces together. But that's the idea, is as I come through here, the same type of information I was just showing you either separately on a SharePoint page or on a team or a channel can be embedded and made available. And again, this gives us that enterprise functionality. So your grow up story for Planner Premium will come with that Power App. And that's important because if you are thinking about moving to project operations, which is a pre-built Microsoft environment, it is again, it is an apex predator in an overall basically services and tracking a program. What's more appropriate here is, again, it is also a Power App. So you think about that Power platform delivering good value. So with that being said, I wanted to make sure I had a chance to kind of walk you through that and to get you at a couple key points. So again, a quick summary for you. If you want enterprise functionality or custom fields beyond the local ones that you get, or you want to standardize across all your plans, you're going to use that Power App or that accelerator help you. There are plenty of report packs out there. We make some, other people do as well. Microsoft has put some out there. Use them because it exposes the dataverse, the data where it's at, and you can use those. And again, Planner Premium with Microsoft Teams, if you want to start seeing some of the AI pieces and some of the Loop components, you'll hear more about that later. That's where you'll use it in the Teams app. But again, grow your knowledge on the Power Platform, and this is a great starter way to get going. Don't have to go out and buy a separate product that's already built. It's kind of cool when you do because they have a lot of money and time invested. But again, Microsoft makes their bones because you still have to buy their licenses as well as maybe licensing a third-party product. Here you can start on your own and work through that as you need to. And again, in the next 20 years, this is what we anticipate is Microsoft's growth direction. So the sooner you kind of get embraced in the Power Platform and begin using it, the more knowledge that you'll say, oh, well, we do that with our Project Accelerator. We do this in our Power App there. Oh, I need a Power App for a time off request form. Or perhaps I've got an HR hiring and recruiting checklist that I want through. That's a Power App. Well, guess what? The same functionality that you learned there will also apply here. So if that was helpful, hopefully give you guys some great direction on how to leverage those pieces. Again, whether it's business transformation or work, we do this. And again, if you look on the screen there, go check out our YouTube channel. We have many other links and videos. We keep putting these things out for people. If you want PDUs, go to our learning management portal. It's advisicon.thinkific.com. So a lot of the same content is there. You can simply watch it, but you can also get a PDU, which is cool for those that have their PMP certification. I'm Tim Runcie. Again, I hope this was helpful for you. Reach out anytime. Don't hesitate. As an evangelist, as a project MVP, been doing this for almost 24 years, 25 years now, I think, with Microsoft, is to really help you guys figure out where you need to go so you get enabled to do more with less. Been great speaking with you. Hope to talk to you soon.